Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into the really dynamic world of medical aesthetics. We're focusing specifically on the global skin resurfacing device market.
It's a fascinating area, constantly evolving.
Exactly. And our mission really is to unpack the key trends, the growth drivers, and some surprising regional shifts happening. We're drawing insights from cognitive market research for this.
Right, some solid data to work with.
We really want to explore how technology is fundamentally reshaping, well, our whole approach to skin rejuvenation. And believe me, there are some pretty remarkable figures and, frankly, fascinating developments to get into. So, to kick things off, when you look at the raw numbers, the story of this market's growth is pretty impressive. Could you maybe walk us through those initial projections? What kind of picture are we looking at?
Absolutely. Yeah, the global skin resurfacing device market, it isn't just growing, it's really experiencing a sustained, pretty robust expansion.
Yeah.
So back in 2021, it was valued at about $302.56 million.
Okay.
By 2025, it's projected to hit $358.05 million.
Ah.
And looking further out, by 2033, it's expected to surge to, well, a massive $501.44 million.
Wow.
Yeah, it's not just a quick burst. It's steady, consistent growth. We're looking at a compound annual growth rate, or CAGR, of 4.3%.
Right, Kizluji.
For anyone not familiar, you can think of CAGR as basically the average annual growth rate over that whole period.
Yeah.
It smooths out the bumps, at 4.3%. It's a very healthy, sustained climb in this industry.
Wow. Okay, those numbers alone paint a powerful picture. That's some serious growth. When you see a KZR like 4.3% in this space, what do you think are the main forces driving this, beyond just the headline figures?
That's a great question, because the why behind it is, well, really interesting. It's being fueled by, I'd say, several core drivers. First, awareness, but it's not just general awareness. Think about social media, influencer culture. It's really democratized exposure to these aesthetic procedures.
Oh, right. Makes sense.
People see relatable results, not just, celebrity ideals. And that's rapidly destigmatizing these treatments, normalizing them.
Yeah.
A big shift in perception.
A massive shift globally. Second, we definitely have a global aging population. But it's not just about wrinkles. It's an aging population that's more active, more invested in quality of life. They want their appearance to match how they feel inside. And critically, there's this really powerful shift towards non-invasive treatments.
Okay, tell me more about that.
Well, it's not just convenience. It signals something deeper culturally, I think. People want long-lasting results, sure, but without the significant downtime or the discomfort or the risks of older, more invasive surgeries.
The less drastic, more subtle.
Exactly. Subtle, consistent enhancement rather than, a huge transformation.
That shift to non-invasive is, really interesting. It feels like moving from extreme makeover to maybe everyday upkeep. Are there any downsides to this, or maybe challenges it creates for the industry?
That's a really good point. While the non-invasive trend is mostly positive, for comfort and access, it does challenge manufacturers. They have to innovate constantly, create devices that give great results without surgery. Right, the pressure's on them.
Definitely. And it also means managing patient expectations. Non-invasive often means gradual results, cumulative ones. That's a different mindset from immediate surgical changes.
Fascinating. Okay, so we've got this booming growth driven by awareness, the non-invasive trend. But where exactly is this demand popping up most? Which parts of the world are really leading this aesthetic revolution?
Yeah, that overall growth naturally makes you ask where.
Right.
And it's definitely not uniform across the globe. North America, for instance, it's the dominant force, absolutely. It's projected to generate $111.39 million in 2025.
Okay.
And looking ahead, forecasted to reach a pretty impressive $152.57 million by 2033.
Given those strong North American figures, especially the U.S., are there unique factors there? Cultural, economic, maybe? Things not quite the same in other big markets, or maybe challenges that come with being so mature?
That's a key observation. North America's dominance, particularly the U.S., isn't just about spending power. It's this unique mix, I think. Highly advanced R&D, a really competitive market driving innovation, and a cultural acceptance of cosmetic procedures that's maybe higher than anywhere else.
Like a feedback loop.
Exactly. It creates this powerful feedback loop, constantly refining and expanding the whole ecosystem, the U.S. alone, set to contribute over $104 million, thanks to that thriving cosmetic surgery environment. But, don't overlook Canada. Smaller market, yes, but it actually shows higher growth momentum of 5.1% CAGR.
Oh, interesting. Higher growth rate.
Yeah, that faster pace up north is likely supported by rising demand for dermatology treatments generally, and maybe better access to the latest tech spreading out, perhaps with less market saturation than the States.
That really shows how nuanced it can be region by region. Okay, let's shift focus. Across the Atlantic, how's Europe doing in this market?
Europe's showing steady, significant growth, too, advancing at a 4.1% CAGR. Countries like Germany, the UK, and France are really leading the way there.
And what's fueling that growth in Europe?
It largely benefits from the continuous expansion of cosmetic clinics across the continent. Plus, there's an increasing preference among European patients for fractional laser treatments.
Fractional lasers. Remind me quickly what those do.
Sure, they're quite advanced. They work by creating these tiny microscopic treatment zones deep in the skin, leaving the surrounding tissue untouched. This triggers the body's natural healing, boosts collagen, renews the skin, but with much faster recovery times compared to older, more ablative lasers.
Got it. Faster recovery is key.
Definitely.
Okay, and then there's the Asia-Pacific region. Huge populations there. What's the story?
Asia Pacific. It's really shaping up to be a key emerging hub, projected to generate nearly $92 million by 2033. We're seeing strong performances from, the big players like China and India, but also the rapidly developing Southeast Asian nations.
Anyone standing out there?
India, actually, it particularly stands out within APAC. It boasts an impressive 5.5% CAGR.
Higher than Europe or the overall average. Why India specifically?
Well, it seems to be a combination of factors. A large, young, and increasingly beauty-conscious population, for one. Plus, there's growing adoption of energy-based devices for aesthetic treatments,
Energy base, money.
meaning devices using things like light, radiofrequency, or ultrasound energy to get results, rather than, say, surgical cutting.
Right. Fitting that non-invasive trend. Makes sense for India with those demographics. What about other emerging areas? South America, perhaps? Or the Middle East?
South America's market is also advancing, a healthy 3.7% CAGR there. Brazil is expected to account for over $22 million by 2033, so demand is definitely global.
Okay. And the Middle East?
Also strong potential, projected to reach $41.82 million by 2033. That growth seems significantly driven by rising disposable incomes across the region and also a flourishing medical tourism sector.
Yeah.
People travel there for high-end treatments.
Any leaders within the region?
Yeah, it's worth noting Saudi Arabia and the UAE are leading there, both showing impressive growth rates above 5%. It reflects, I think, a strong investment in high-end medical services.
Okay, fascinating. Lastly, let's touch on Africa, often seen as a frontier market. What's its trajectory looking like here?
Africa is definitely fast emerging as a promising frontier in this market, too. The numbers are still smaller, naturally, but its impressive KGG suggests a huge untapped potential.
What kind of growth rate?
It's expected to grow at a substantial 5.3% CAGR.
Wow, very high.
Yeah, and reach over $35 million in revenue by 2033, led by countries like Nigeria and South Africa. It just highlights the truly global reach of this trend, the increasing desire for advanced aesthetic solutions even in developing economies.
Those regional variations are really something. It paints a truly global picture of demand. But of course, none of this growth happens without the actual devices, right? The technology itself must be evolving incredibly fast. Can you give us a sense of the cutting-edge tech driving these changes?
Exactly. The devices are the engine here. And when we talk skin resurfacing devices, we're looking at a whole range of really interesting technologies. Everything from, say, traditional CO2 lasers.
The older workhorses.
Kind of, yeah. They use focused light to remove outer skin layers. Pretty dramatic rejuvenation. But then you have more modern systems like microneedling RF, that's radiofrequency. These combine tiny needles with heat energy to stimulate collagen deeper down. Significant results, often less downtime.
Okay.
And there are others too. Pulse dye lasers, IPL devices, intense pulse light, various chemical peels delivered by quite sophisticated systems now. It's a wide field.
It's clear this market's pulled by strong consumer demand. But what about the tools themselves, the push from the tech side? How are these specific resurfacing technologies evolving to meet that demand? What does the future look like for device innovation?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, device manufacturers are innovating relentlessly. They have to, driven by that demand for great results with minimal fuss. They're developing systems that are more precise, inherently safer, and increasingly multifunctional.
Multifunctional meaning?
Meaning one device might address a wider range of issues, aging skin, sun damage, acne scars, hyperpigmentation, maybe all with fewer sessions or less discomfort.
Makes sense from a clinic and patient perspective.
Absolutely. This constant advancement means the future of dermatological aesthetics looks, Well, increasingly tech-driven, highly customizable, and importantly, more globally accessible. We're really moving towards solutions that are not just effective, but also fit more seamlessly in people's lives.
So when we boil it all down, what does this all mean for us, for you listening? Fundamentally, it tells us that this global demand for youthful, rejuvenated skin, it's not just a passing fad. It's a powerful, pervasive force. And it's driving remarkable innovation and growth in the skin resurfacing device market. And what's truly exciting, I think, is that this makes advanced dermatological aesthetics more accessible than ever before to people all around the world. It's blurring the lines between, say, traditional beauty routines and medical interventions.
And this does raise an important question, something for you to maybe ponder after this. What are the long-term implications of this widespread technological advancement in aesthetics as these tech-driven solutions become increasingly accessible globally? What does that mean for our understanding of beauty, of aging, of wellness across different cultures as we move forward? And maybe even, how might this shape our individual and societal perceptions of identity itself? Something to think about.